Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Things are getting thick for the global north in Africa, particularly the Western Sahel in West Africa, where they've always had a chokehold on most of these countries. Niger is saying they do not want American troops in their country and they want them to leave immediately. This just goes to show that many of these African countries are realizing that only they can develop their own countries, and this will only happen if they have autonomy from the West. Hello there, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode of our conversations. My name is Ondiro Oganga. I'm a business journalist by profession and a digital content creator. I love coming on here, having conversations with you guys about Africa, Black people, our empowerment, and how we can rise up and take our rightful place at the global stage. Connect with me on social media at Ondiro Oganga, or come over to my YouTube channel at New Dawn Africa channel, where we profile Africa through people, politics, and culture. Now, I want today to talk about the latest development in Niger, and we can start with the latest development, then we can go back to the chronology and what led us to this moment. So the National Council of Homeland Protection did a press conference, and in this press conference, they made it categorically clear that they do not want anything to do with Western countries, particularly their military forces in their country. This message was directed to America, who they say have a condescending tone towards Niger and keep threatening them with consequences. And this is a very important press conference, and it comes at a very important time because barely a week ago, America had sent a delegation to Niger to try and have a conversation with them. One of the things that America was not very happy about is the fact that Niger has signed a deal with Iran to sell them uranium. And this is the same uranium that France was taking for nearly nothing. And it was being used to power these countries. Yet Niger is a country where 80% of the population do not have access to electricity. Also, the Homeland Protection says that America's presence in Niger is, first of all, illegal and against the Constitution. And when they talk about American presence, what do they mean? There's America's largest drone base on the African continent was based in Niger, a place called Agadez, and it's estimated to be worth $110 million. Also, America still has about 1,000 boots on the ground. So this just goes to show you that Niger was a very strategic partner for America. What America was using this base is to gather intelligence so that they can counter terrorism activities and also mitigate human smuggling, drug smuggling, and ensure that they create some form of barrier for countries that they care about, such as Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and Senegal, who were very important trading partners to them. But again, Niger feels like this comes at a price, because if the base is in your country, then America has a say in the decisions that you make. Why is this? It's because despite the fact that there was a coup, America tried to take that diplomatic route, right? They said we're going to maintain cordial relationships with the junta so that we can try and have a conversation with them for them to go back to democracy, right? And this is not just an American thing. The West has been very critical of Niger. They're not happy with the military government, and for a long while they were calling on the reinstatement of former President Mohamed Bazoum back into power. And so this is something that the junta is not very happy about, because for them, they think that America is meddling with Niger's internal affair. If Niger has had a coup, that is Niger's business. It's up to them to decide how they're going to be governed moving forward. Somebody from the outside should not come in and tell them how their country is supposed to be governed. And that's the biggest problem with this issue. And also, I think it's just America's strategy has fallen flat. There was a there was a high-level delegation that was sent to Niger just last week ahead of this announcement to try and diffuse the situation. So that just means that America's military strategy in Africa is falling flat on the face. And this introduces another player who is Russia. Russia is already in Mali. They've deployed, it's being reported that they've deployed in Burkina Faso, and they signed a military agreement with the junta in December. So it's only a matter of time before Russia also makes its way to Niger. And this is something that threatens America because they do not want Russia's influence growing on the continent. When Secretary Antony Blinken was visiting the continent earlier on in January, he said that, Russia are agents and merchants of chaos. All they do is they come, if you have a small tiff here and there, they escalate the tension, they loot your resources, and by the time they're done with you, the place is unrecognizable. But then again, that is what America says. From what we are saying, many Africans are almost choosing to side with Russia because it's almost like they feel they almost know what they get with Russia and they don't know what they get with America. Because on the onset with America, it always starts very diplomatically. Oh, we're your friends, we want the best for you. Then within no time, like the junta is accusing America, there's so much external meddling in Niger's internal affairs, and what Niger wants is just to govern itself. So if America leaves, probably they'll be the last Western forces to leave Niger. We saw France leave Niger, and I think their last troops left the country in December. And if you remember how this happened, President Emmanuel Macron was very adamant. He kept saying, we're not going to leave, we're not going to leave, we're not going to leave, we're not going anywhere. He said he will only recognize President Mohamed Bazoum, and he will not recognize the military junta, and France does not negotiate with terrorists. But then again, all the odds were against him. The military junta did not want him in Niger, but also the people of Niger did not want France in their country. There were so many protests held outside the French embassy, actually, and people were blocking food and supplies from going in. And I think that President Macron knew it was only a matter of time before he had to leave the country. And so in December, we saw them leave. And I want to presume that by their troops leaving the country, then the business agreements, the post-colonial agreements that France had with Niger almost came to an end. France is one of the biggest buyers of Niger's uranium, or would I say Niger is one of the biggest suppliers of uranium to France. But then again, it could be corruption, or it just could be that somebody is not paying what they're supposed to pay, because when you look at that country, you don't see the value of the resources that they have. The poverty in that country is so high, hunger is so high, the risk to just starvation is really high. There's so much instability, there's so much poverty, and you wonder, why does this country have resources if these resources cannot benefit them? So I cannot say that this is a new beginning for Niger, but obviously these are very bold choices. Of course, they'll have consequences, but the question is, can they ride the tide? Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ondiro Oganga. Connect with me on social media at Ondiro Oganga, or come over to my YouTube channel where I profile Africa through politics, people, and culture. The name of the channel is New Dawn Africa Channel. See you again next time.